Hard to believe it has been a week since President Trump's big bill passed Congress. In fact, it was last Thursday when the House got it through, and then everybody went off on vacation. That includes many Hill reporters, many sleepless Hill reporters. Riley Rogerson from NOTUS is up late with me tonight here on the Final Five. You've caught up on sleep since last week now, right?
I'd like to think so, but it's been crazy. You said it's been a week since the bill passed. I did not realize that until right now. And these days have started to totally blur together with the holiday in the middle of it. It's been surreal as a reporter for sure.
This is not, though, the bill was not the last thing on Congress's agenda. There's a deadline looming, and I want to get into that. You're talking about this for NOTUS along with your colleagues, and we talked about what's being called the rescission package, but there's a lot more that goes into it.
Right. It's essentially codifying some of those early Doge cuts that Elon Musk went after back in the early days of the Trump administration. So things like cutting the U.S. Agency for International Development, cutting certain programs that provide aid for HIV and AIDS in Africa, programs like that. Also, affecting public broadcasting in rural areas throughout the country. Those are the areas that Elon Musk identified as waste, fraud, and abuse, at least elements of those programs. So Congress wants to codify those cuts. It comes out to about $9.4 billion, but it's been quite contentious. The House passed that, I don't know, about a month, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now the Senate's up against a deadline and they have to get it done by July 18th.
And if it doesn't happen by July 18th, it's over and done with. This money is going to be spent for those intended purposes.
It goes back to the White House. The White House would have to restart the entire process. They would go to the House. It just will continue to ping pong. And yeah, in the meantime, that money is not being spent, but that's not been with congressional approval. They're trying to make legal kind of what all these cuts that they've already done. So in the meantime, it will proceed as business as usual, but this is a big priority for the president to legitimize all of those early actions.
So even though Elon Musk is out of the picture now, and we've seen what happened between him and President Trump, this would be codifying more or less his legacy as Doge father, as he called himself.
Yeah, it's an interesting tension there because you're exactly right. It is legitimizing a big part of what Elon Musk did. This isn't all the cuts that he identified. It's really just kind of that first swing. But at the time when Elon was doing that, the president was super supportive, and he took a big stand as remember all those federal workers were being laid off and it was not seeming super politically popular, and he took a stand and he's standing by that. So he's proceeding with this. Congress, for the most part, seems to have his back. This did pass the House, although narrowly. And we'll see what happens in the Senate. It's the same cast of characters who are holding out, who typically hold out, and we'll see if they get to yes.
Who are we watching? Obviously you can lose. This is one of those rare times you can lose more votes in the Senate than you can in the House. But so we're talking about the Susan Collins of the world here.
We're talking about Susan Collins again. Yes, she has big concerns about that HIV/AIDS program called PEPFAR. Yeah. Lisa Murkowski, yet again, a big one to watch here. She's listed a lot of concerns with the public broadcasting elements, but there's more. A lot of senators from rural states have expressed serious concerns. I'm thinking like a Mike Rounds, who is the South Dakota senator. He typically is a solid yes for Senate Republicans, but even he's, expressed some concern. He doesn't love the potential impact on South Dakota.
Yeah, and the point is, this has always been a priority for Republicans. We talk about defunding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Back when Mitt Romney was running for president in 2012, this was a very hot button issue out there. But when you mention PEPFAR, that AIDS prevention program that was a signature achievement by George W. Bush. This was his legacy, and something that really, if you look back at 8 years of Bush 43, this is a signature worldwide achievement. I think there's been so much focus on PBS, NPR, and USAID, but this is a big one here.
Oh, absolutely. It's huge. And NOTUS actually has some really great reporting going to Republican members of Congress who were around when that bill passed. I think it was 2003. And, now they're tasked with, or am I going to defund this program that I voted for in 2003 and have championed and reauthorized in years past that? I'm thinking like Chuck Grassley, Mitch McConnell, all these people did vote for this program, and they really have celebrated it. But it's like so many things when the president says, I want this done, time and time again, we've seen that people deliver.
Yeah. And I think what the best evidence of that was during the signing ceremony when Speaker Johnson handed President Trump his gavel. And I think a lot of people saw the symbolism of that in that the president gets what he wants. But you know what? A lot of presidents out there would love to have a Congress that pushes their priorities across the finish line like this one has. Riley, we got to go. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We appreciate you could read more from Riley and her colleagues in NOTUS about this and many other hot button issues of the day. In the meantime, your Final Five is back after this.